close my computer down. Hey y'all, how are you doing? What's going on? So yeah, sorry about that earlier. If you saw, I had like a, what would you call that? A bad start? How is it going? How's it going? So I'm on my phone because I was having plug issues and tech issues, but hey, now I can't, the thing is with this, it's real basic. I can't put up your comments or feature your channel. And actually notice this mug. I actually really like owls. I think they're really cool. And this, I just happened to pick this mug, not even seeing it was an owl. That it's kind of one of my symbols. The wisdom aspect. Hold on, let me try to even out my hair. The aspect, I love how they can turn their head like, you know, and each animal has a medicine to it. So I do love owls. And how are you guys doing? I wanted this live to just check in on your stress level. And I wanted to share how I'm doing and what I'm doing and maybe inspire you. And just to, you know, take chances and while we're still breathing, to go ahead and take chances. So hey, if you're just joining, all right, let me just see what I can actually see. Okay, I can see the number of folks watching. Hey y'all, I'm so sorry. I have a dog staring at me over on my left. It's okay. Did you like your food? Okay, good. My laptop, it looks like my battery may be dying, which I really hope isn't true because I really don't want to have to buy a new Mac battery. I don't even know how that works, but hey, yeah, peace to you. Let me pin that. Looks like I can do basic things. I can pin a message. Your affirmations has helped my sacral chakra so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I have so many, actually probably only about 4 that are directly affirmations. Oh, I'm so thankful, so grateful. It's always nice to hear that. How is your stress level though? So I am not in the US right now. And I'm really proud of myself because, wait a minute, for a variety of reasons. I'm going to talk about, you know, I did a video a couple weeks ago about fear, and let me see if I can actually just pull up what the titles were, right? Now I'm talking especially, I think, to, you know, those of us, say, over 50, where Western society, hold on, let me mute. Western society starts to give us the idea that we're a little bit less valuable, that type of thing, okay? Now we all know traditional cultures, this is not the case. In fact, as you get older, you're viewed as more powerful, you're more important, right? So here we've turned that around. We can kind of see some of the results of that. That's not going real well. How's that going for you, right? Not really going very well. So I just do want to encourage you to check out, good, it shows that I'm live. Check out my recent videos, okay? One of them is Life, Adjust as Life Gives You Curves. And I talk about some manifestation tips. That only has 143 views. I would love for that to have more. It is a long video. Maybe I should chop it up a little, but manifestation is one of the topics that I talk about. My topics are fairly broad. Sorry, I'm looking at the dog. You know how they like to they're just cleaning themselves post-eating. Yeah, don't growl. It's not really growling, it's more, aw. He's rolling over on his belly and he's like, ugh. You know how they do that on their back. He's very happy. Manifestation, I talk about to a lesser extent, but I may bring that up more. I talk about holistic health and wellness because I feel that a lot of us, while we're into the beautiful, energetic work, a lot of us, many through no real fault of our own, are dealing with health issues that, again, I'm going to keep hammering this point. We got to get the health issues first under control, that physical level, that root chakra, level, that body level. And then it's like, is it Maslow's hierarchy of needs? And then it's easier to get to the spiritual, right? Like all spiritual teachers talk about, people need bread, they need food before you start talking to them about what we call woo woo, which I use as a positive term. Anyway, so it's nice to see the numbers going up, and I'm going to read some comments. And I don't want to put my face real close to my phone because I don't think that's a great idea. Let's see. Your affirmations will help my sacral chakra. I'm in the US and currently I'm at a shelter, so I'm trying to keep my stress level down. Great, great. Absolutely. Listen, always find a quiet space, okay? So I'm sorry you're having such a hard time now. Again, our culture, for many, many reasons, right? The family splinters. We don't really support families, okay? We give lip service to it. We don't really provide support for families. And then, now we're tearing apart government. So where in many cultures, it's the family unit, right? Think about Africa, think about Southeast Asia, where, of course, they're well-to-do people, but where if a population is poorer, the family pulls together, right? The sons and the daughters work, the grandma takes care of the kids, the grandpa's doing something, he's repairing stuff, he's doing stuff. We don't have that. So yes, you can end up just on your own, isolated, and you need to turn to government services, which we label socialist, right? Tell, Sweden and Finland and even Canada and England, we like to just really kind of smear other countries. It's a shame. So say hi. B has said hi, or Bay. Say B. Who else is watching? And let me know even if you're watching in the replay. So I am not in the US. I'm really glad that my videos have helped. I am really wanting to remind you that I do work one-on-one, primarily with women. Like my earrings? They were made by an artisan, a craftsperson. Money like directly into their pocket versus some big chain. Don't get me started on that. There's so many roads we could go down. Okay, so I'm here. It is Sunday. Happy Black History Month, and hopefully those who are unenlightened and who are just stuck on DEI as some sort of four-letter word, who are often completely unaware of and maybe willfully, honestly, I know a lot of you would say willfully, but we're unaware of the contributions of African Americans, Black and brown people, to everything from cell phones to our space exploration to just so many things, right? But it does really get washed out. So I really want to appeal. I don't feel like I have to appeal to my Black audience, but I want to appeal to those of you who consider yourself liberal. Again, even consider, buy your kids, this is what Spirit's telling me to talk about. Buy your kids a book about notable African Americans. That could be one book. You could buy another book, because there's so much that many African Americans don't know. Like I just posted about the woman who was one of the women featured in the movie and the book Hidden Figures. That woman was exemplary, you guys. She was just okay. And the New York Times has a story on her that they're calling Overlooked. And what Overlooked is their attempt now, the New York Times, to rectify, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion of a woman who literally, these women contributed so mightily to our space program, to our technology that we're all using today, whatever your race, we're using it today. And they didn't even feature her obituary. Now, somebody like her, of a different, who was white, who had done that, would absolutely get an obituary. So they are trying to rectify that now by featuring her obituary, and that's what I was just reading. And of course, I had seen the film Hidden Figures, but again, the human computers, like that, even just the sound of that, I get chills. I'm like, okay, because I am math challenged, okay? Can I just tell you that? So let me know who's here. I want to talk about what you would like to discuss, so don't just lurk. I see your numbers, I know you're here, all right? I am having chamomile tea, and guess where I am? Did I already say? I said I'm not in the US right now. I don't want you to think, and this is what I want to talk about, it's not about having a lot of fun. Okay. So yeah, let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. I want to talk about what you want to talk about. And my question for you, whether you're live or in replay, is how are you doing? How is your stress level? Okay. He says, we are not computers, we are higher intelligence. Oh, we absolutely are. But that's what the ladies in this program were called because it was the early stages of computers and they literally, they were that smart. It was actually a compliment. I think they kept the black women, I don't know if they were black men, but even in an era of real segregation, this woman I'm talking about, she went and applied and they're like, okay, like she proved herself worthy. They immediately took her into the program and she literally didn't even have a degree. That's how smart she was. She only went back and got her degree, I want to say 20 or 30, like maybe 20 years in. She was brilliant. She was featured in the movie Hidden Figures. Okay, that's just that like raw intelligence that she had. But she did go back finally to get a degree. But of course, throughout her whole career, there were blocks put in front of her. She was denied things that were not denied to her white counterparts. Just stuff that is so basic. So again, I just want to appeal to my viewers who are not African American and who consider yourself liberal and probably are if you're watching my channel and spiritual, just to educate yourself, just even have some of these names and know some of the achievements, especially with the orange one, who is trying to basically further strip out the history out of history. And anyway, so yes, you guys are not gonna, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Do not be shy. If you're a channel member, I don't know if I'll be able to tell. I can pull cards for you, but I want to focus on stress. So again, I'm really sorry that you're in a shelter. I'm glad my work has helped. And you said you're going to do 5-element Qigong. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The body work I was trained in is 5-element. You might want to look up something called the 8 Brocades, B. It's called the 8 Brocades. You can find it right here on YouTube. It's a series of simple like postures. You'll literally be like, how can this even help? And it is so powerful. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? What's going on for you? I can see that you're here, okay? But I want to share knowing, maybe you really don't know what you want to talk about, but how is your stress? How is your share your stresses? I'd like to know how the rest of you are doing. I'm going to try to turn this sideways because I just want to rest it down. Now rotate device back. Orientation is locked. I had not locked orientation. All right, it looks like I'm gonna have to hold on, I'm gonna do something else. It's gonna flip me upside down. I wanna see if it'll, yeah, the orientation is locked. Do you have any questions? Because I will pull a card if you share in the chat, if you have questions. And guess where I am? Yeah, the 8 Brocades. Yes, exactly, like brocade, like, how do you define brocade? Brocade almost like scarf, or I think brocade means like a type of stitching. But yeah, look it up, the 8 Brocades. It's very simple movements, like you're moving your arms slowly. It's like Tai Chi, it looks like, but it opens up the different energy channels. I did it when I was traveling before, when I became ill. It was amazing, really, really helpful. It's more gentle than yoga. I would say even almost than the gentlest yoga, because it's like super slow. Like somebody 80 years old could do it. And you're just sort of moving your chi and you're opening the channels in your body. You move really, really slowly. It was amazing. It's called the 8 Brocades. Yes. Hey, Mel. NYC Reviews. We're going to work on that name. I just want you to, I want you to have a name that reflects your present state. So guess where I am? And I'm going to read your comment. Good morning, sister. Blessings to you. I'm currently rereading one of my favorite books in 2024, James, a novel by Percival Everett. Okay. What is it? Is it inspiring? What do you love about it? on that note, I can riff on that. I think we need to read more. And again, I'm saying for myself, so I'm not in the US, but that the airplane crash really throws me, you guys, because that's just one of those things that I'm very unsettled about. Let me know. So I'm just going to talk since you guys are not telling me what you want to talk about. Mel will come back with a comment and B probably will. And again, if you're in the replay, put your comments below. Maybe next time what you want me to talk about, what you want to share. Let me know how you're doing. But yeah, plane crashes are something that I'm fascinated by. I'm not going to lie. I am fascinated by very specific type of disasters, like tornadoes. Don't. I'm not interested in tornadoes. Not interested in hurricanes. But you know, planes, plane crashes, and so to see our president, all I'm going to say is, just I literally cannot imagine a Democrat or a Republican being as vicious as to within like the first day, you know, dumping on Black, brown, and women. So and I have to say this, I just have to share this with you. Think of how many planes have crashed in the past, up in history till now. Do we ever say, yeah, that man, you know, he was drinking? For instance, it's supposedly some airline crew do drink or whatever. Do we ever say it's because he's a man? You know, do we, like, it's stunning to me. And those who are filled with hate will want to believe whatever this person says. You know, but to blame the point they're still trying to fish bodies out of the water, he's going to jump in and talk about DEI and blame that. Like it's really, it's delusional. Like, what is this? It's like a fixation. It's a fixation. It's stunning to me. I think it has to do with insecurity, because I have thought about this. I think racism, and I don't just mean American racism, I mean racism in India, racism, it can be an ethnic, how do you call that? You know, where the Hutus and the Tutsis, right? In Africa and in Bosnia. This sense where you need to take one group and make them less than and put everything bad on them. There's definitely a psychology to that that is clearly the sense, the incredible fear of inferiority of the group that does that. And as I'm saying, this is around the world, right, where this other group is demonized, right? And so anything bad that happens, you want to pin it on them. If there's a bad person in their ethnic or racial group, you point it up and you highlight it, while with your group, you do not. And it's just really sad. This is human. Hey, R&B, it is human nature, but I believe it's our lower nature. That's kind of like what, you know, I'm not about. And so if you really watch me closely, I rarely, many people are jumping on and, you know, saying that all of these type of people are racist, or I mentioned, I just cannot do that. It will lose me viewers, but I can't in good conscience say that. I can't. I can say we have a racist society. I can say that. What I cannot and will not do, and again, you can tune me out anytime you need to, I will not say any one group, all the people or even the majority are evil. I think that is not true. Again, it doesn't mean that, I mean, it would be like saying in Hitler's Germany, which clearly we're in parallel to, it would be like saying all Germans at that point, saying they're all evil and calling them names and so on. Now, maybe the vast majority participated, right? And yet they were Germans and others who gave their lives to save people. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm getting really choked up about it. So I just need to put that out there. I will not, I mentioned this 2 videos ago. I have a friend who is Tibetan, and I have friends from all backgrounds. And because I'm into Buddhism, and this person is a Buddhist, and they have suffered horrible atrocities, horrible stuff, guys, and have seen it also perpetrated. And they were they were talking about another ethnic group, which maybe I won't say. And they got very upset. And I realized they had suffered trauma, very, very upset. And they were just like, these people are like this. And I was like, I'm not saying they didn't, but I cannot agree with you that all are. That's just not true. And I realized the person had been through so much trauma, their whole tone had changed. They were clearly just acting out from the trauma that they had suffered, right? From the evil people of that group who had, in fact, inflicted death, torture, right? But again, I'm sure there were some who were like, come hide in my basement, right? At the cost of their own life. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I know because I know many channels now, especially with our current president and the feeling we're feeling angry, we're feeling disenfranchised and all that. I totally understand that. The thing we have to watch out for at the highest level is becoming like, and the Dalai Lama said this. Now I know he's recently run into some trouble. Not even going to talk about that. What was that? What was that with that little boy? That was weird. But for decades maintained like you can't react the same way as the people who are oppressing you and who are, now you could say sometimes you need a carrot and a stick, right? You need the peaceful people, and then maybe you need the protesting, the people who are like, whatever, you get what I'm saying. So, but I'm talking from a spiritual level, like try not to let your heart get contaminated is almost what I'm trying to say. So has anybody guessed where I am? Hold on, let me read comments now. But I had to put that out because I think we're in a time where, and this is going to sound weird and far-fetched, but again, if you're spiritual, if you're watching this, there are energies around. I don't think it's just people. I do. Listen, I've said this before. I absolutely stand by this. So I was fascinated by World War II, even when I was a little girl, when I was like 12, 13. And if you watch videos of Hitler speaking, he literally looks possessed. Give me a thumbs up or a yes if you know what I'm saying. If you've ever watched those videos of him, he is literally like his body is shaking. And they actually did dabble in occult, but I mean, and he was, crazy, whatever, on all of that, right? But it was like, it was beyond hatred. It was like, yeah. So I think there are energies on the planet right now, to get really woo-woo, that can like sweep through and almost like a cloud of hatred, of evil, a population kind of, maybe a vulnerable population because they don't have the spiritual or moral strength. They literally, that hate can like almost reside in them. Do you guys know what I'm saying? What do you think about that? I want to know what you think, because I know it sounds really abstract and woo-woo, but like I said, watch videos of any dictator, and you, especially if they're speaking and they're getting their crowd amped up, and it's almost like something else has taken them over, to bring evil onto the planet. So I'm just saying to you, those watching me, those spiritual beings, maybe you're here for, as I feel I am, to help keep some light on the planet. Don't let the anger and rage take you over. That doesn't mean you can't act, right? We can still act. We can absolutely still act. You can do what you can. Maybe you don't have extra money, but you have time where you can volunteer, or you can even, like, I'm just getting for someone, maybe this is intuitive, put out your poetry. Maybe you write peace poetry. I don't know where this is coming from. It's just coming to me. Put out your poetry. Maybe leave it where people can find it. Maybe put on performances for kids. Maybe teach it to poor children. Teach them how to write poetry. Teach them how to express their feelings. You see what I'm saying? What do you guys think? I want to know what you think about what I'm saying, so I'm going to pause. powerful and uplifting. It's a reimagining of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, but told from the perspective of Huckleberry's friend on his travels, Jim. Yes. Okay. No, I did hear about it. I did hear about it. Huh. Okay. So the novel is James. All right. Give me other book recommendations, folks. Yeah, it's powerful and uplifting. So R&B is here. Calmly Replied is here. Hi, maybe the stress problem comes from the thought technology used to focus one's attention. Calmly Replied, tell me more. The stress problem is we're living in a world where if what we are seeing is true, which I'm going to go with that it is in terms of what the political leaders and billionaires are doing, billionaires for the common man, let's just call them. Like we know Elon cares about, we working class. Let's go even middle class. We know in our hearts that he cares, right? That's just, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? So that is stress because as there's this beautiful quote people have been floating around about the first thing like the Federation tells you is don't believe your eyes and ears. But we are getting to a time where with AI, that will actually be really true. And so I am predicting it's going to get very dystopian very fast. Actually, I said this months ago. I said a couple months ago, once I really started to see what AI can do. And it's going to progress very, very quickly. And so I don't know, I'm just going to hold space for humanity. So Miss Foskey says, peace and blessings always, Queen. Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. How is your stress level? How are you doing? Yeah, I talked a little bit about this airplane, this crash. Guys, I'm not one of those people trying to like hype up my services because otherwise I would come in and I'll be throwing cards. And I'm not one of those people like, let me do a tarot reading about this, right? On a tragedy. But I'm going to tell you the truth. As I was booking my flight, guys, as I was booking my flight to leave the US, again, be honest, I'm looking at all types of cheap flights. Your girl is, I'm like really super nerd. I'm like, wait, if I go to this town, I could fly to here. Crazy, just crazy stuff. I spent hours doing this. And at one point, I distinctly remember thinking there was some flight where I'm like, oh, I could go through Washington, right? And I think it literally was a flight. I don't think it was precog. But I remember being like, no, I don't want to go through that airport. I don't want to go through that airport. Again, I did not have any sense of this tragedy, but I specifically remember having that thought about DC. And I can't really remember other airports. Maybe Boston, I had the same feeling, but with the crash, I remember that. And now what I know about that Washington, DC corridor, do any of you fly in and out of it? I'm not going to fly through there. I'm not. I mean, yeah, oh, I mean, I get there are different levels. Like that actually, that makes sense. Like, because people are freaking out. Why are they even there? Well, it's a corridor for them to, with all the bureaucrats and the president, the vice president, the senators. Okay. And yeah, if you truly fly at different levels, it would be cool. But when I was seeing something about how short the runway is, guys, and I'm just like, okay, no. There's too many things going on in a dense area. It's ridiculous. I am muted. I should not be muted. R&B, am I still muted? Guys, let me know if you can hear me. I might have been muted when my call was coming in. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if I can, I'm gonna do this. Okay. I was trying to see if I could turn off incoming calls, but it's already turned off. I don't know. A call was ringing through. Okay, yeah, a call was ringing through. So R&B, when that's ringing through, I think it muted me. Yeah. Okay. So do any of you fly in and out of DC or through DC? Anyway, and let me know if you want me to pull a card, again, related to anything around your stress level, how you can have more peace in your life, what's going on, what you need to look at. I will be happy to do that. So I'm going to read more of your comments. This is the earliest period of fourth, fifth dimension energy formation, and some people really understand this principle. Calmly replied, okay. I'm going to read your comment again for viewers because I'm not sure it's showing on the screen. It's showing on my phone. This is the earliest period of fourth and fifth dimensional energy formation, and some people really understand this principle. So let me go on. I like, for one, I think I don't use the dimensional language very much. And I don't, to be really honest, I don't watch other YouTubers about things like that. I don't, because I really feel like my soul is evolved enough. So I get the information I need, and I don't necessarily link it to dimensions. That's just not the languaging I'm using. I think that I have been a teacher and a spiritual leader in many past lives, and a spiritual practitioner in many past lives. And like interstellar, really believe that. There have been a lot of coincidences and things that tell me that. So I may not be familiar with that language. I may be living it, but may not use that language. But yeah. R&B says, okay, I totally agree. I remember a teacher once saying that in the process of healing or doing sacred healing work, we must be clear and concise with our words and speak factual truth. Oh, absolutely. There is a yogic Sidha, or a yogic gift, and it is when you are truly truthful. This is really deep, guys. This is something that a true yogi, a really evolved being, and they may be from different traditions, but what they speak becomes truth because they are so truthful that, like the biblical, when you command a thing to be so, it will be so, again, in a form that is for the highest good, not for self-aggrandizement, not for like, okay, I want $1 million now, which of course with manifestation, we're all like, yeah, I want 5 million. Okay, so I'm mixing different things. I'm mixing more of the new age manifest money, but it is truly a siddha in the same way that there's a siddha, which is again like a spiritual gift, and some Western saints had it where animals would not attack them. For instance, they are so peaceful that they can be, and I know in some charismatic Christian churches, they do the thing with the snakes, right? Kind of what I'm saying. So there are different spiritual gifts. Different people might have different ones, but that truth thing, it's important to speak the truth as much as you can without causing harm. And that's the one caveat. If your truth would cause real harm, then it might be better to not speak it. Okay, and that is very tricky. That is very tricky. R&B says, I've been feeling the spiritual heaviness and have been using your grounding, centering, and shielding. Thank you. And thank you for reminding me of that, because guess what, R&B? I don't do my grounding, centering, and shielding. I learned that specific practice. Thank you for mentioning it. I made 3 separate videos on it where I went through. Those of you who want to learn it, just go to my channel, there's like a spyglass. It's another name, magnifying glass, and you can just put grounding, centering, shielding. And I broke it into 3 parts. I learned that when I was studying shamanism and shamanistic practices, which again, many different world traditions have that. It's basically a way of communing with spirit directly. And so the grounding, centering, and shielding is a way to protect yourself so that you can do that work. Almost like some people would use a language, maybe call it astral traveling, right? It's a very similar concept. So you ground yourself so that your body stays grounded to the earth, because you need your physical body, right? Some people try to omit that, but you need the physical body. So that's the grounding. The centering, we work either through like the spine, or it could be the abdomen with the breath. And then the shielding is working with putting a shield around you. It is a very powerful practice. And R&B, thank you for reminding me, because I have not been doing it. Okay, now I'm back to the muted comment, which I know was before. Maybe you did. Yeah, no, I read your comment. Yeah, thank you. Mel, I did read your comment. Yep. Oh, B, do you want a card? Whoops, hold on. Your intentions and thoughts are being used to create loss. Hold on. And crying, tears are falling out. Oh my gosh. No, I feel that, calmly replied. Your comment, let's see, the letters DEI have now been encoded with a whole lot of source energy used as a fulcrum. I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying. Um, yeah. And some sides are better at doing that than others. They can take a word and it's like, yeah, like energetically encode it and then put it out into the planet. Yeah, it can be very very harmful. Very harmful. Yeah. Let me pin that. So I do think that we can, again, some of this language I don't usually use very much with the timeline jumping or dimensional jumping. I think that many of our choices, almost every choice, can lead us in a whole different life. So yeah. Okay, last chance. Guess where I am? Guess where I am? Guess where I am? And I feel like, and this is being slightly vain, and it's okay. I feel like I already look better with my stress going down. And as many of the women who talk about, like, Stephanie Perry and Picky Girl Travels the World and all those channels, specifically with Black women who have moved abroad or go for a period of time just to reset, I'm really honoring that. I think it takes a while for anyone under stress in the US when you leave for that to kind of, some of that stress to fall away. I'm definitely feeling that. I'm definitely feeling that. So I do want to say to you, oh yeah, and I might have yeah, and I might have said it because I'm terrible at keeping secrets. I really am. I always say I'd be a good spy, but not really. The reason I say I'd be a good spy is here's why. Random people, you guys, tell me stuff. They tell me detailed information, private information, completely unbidden. And I think it's because my soul can project a non-harming. I mean, I can try to cover that. The New Yorker in me can be tough and be aggressive, but I think for many people they do feel that I truly don't want to harm them or that I will not harm them. And so that's why sometimes I say I'd be a good spy because people tell me stuff that I don't even want to know and they're telling me. But on the other hand, I'm not good at keeping secrets. I'm like good at part of what a spy would need to do, right? I can find out information, but then I'm like, let me tell you what I heard. I'm more of a, I think in an old village type, more traditional culture, yeah, I would be the wise woman and I would be the one kind of subtly trying to smooth out issues, right? So yeah. So yeah, I am in Europe and there's reasons for that. And I was in London calmly. Yeah, I was in London. An R&B, absolutely. I will do a card. Yes, right? I did say I was going to England. See? I'd be a terrible spy. I don't know why I think that's important. I don't know. Slight intrigue there. I don't have the nerves for it. I don't know why. It's just this fantasy in the back of my mind. Do you guys have any like career fantasies, the thing you think you could have been? I really don't. I know I couldn't have been a spy, but it's one of those things because friends always say to me, and my dearest friend, he'd say to me, "What, you talk to people?" He was someone he wouldn't talk to people. I will talk to random people and enjoy it. I enjoy it. They might be a little crazy, but I enjoy talking to people. I just do, and I enjoy, as long as they're not like dangerous crazy, I enjoy meeting a human, getting a little bit of their story, right? And I feel that's also part of what we need more of as humanity. I will listen to someone older than me. I'll talk to a child. I'll make a joke with a child, right? Especially if they're being ignored. Okay, so just building community. So yes, I did say. So I got to England. Some things are the same, right? These are the people who, I'm generally being treated very, very nice. You can feel just strangers. Might be something subtle. Overall, though, the ease of English usage, and I'm being very funny with the British, they'll say something, you guys, and I'll say something, and I'm like, I hope you can understand my American accent. And they love that. I think I cracked up two people with that. I did. I seriously was like, I don't know what I said. And I'm like, can you understand my American accent? And this one girl, she was so funny. She said something with a British accent and I imitated her. I said, oh, is that how you say it? She goes, no, no, don't imitate me. I have the worst. It's the worst. And then she named what her accent was. So you guys, I can imitate a British accent, but I need to like hear it close, like in time. And then I can do, my friend was like, oh my God, you sound British. But obviously to American ears, but just different things. You know, the lift is the elevator. I think they say takeaway because I say take out, but I think they actually say takeaway. There's so many little things where in my head, my brain's like, oh, they mean this. But it's stuff you would, as an American watching this, if you're in America, you would understand what they mean. Oh, I was saying something about I brought my sneakers. And then I said to my friend, oh, my trainers. She goes, yeah, we call them trainers. And I says, we're Americans, we're wearing sneakers, but we're not training for anything. We're not. She thought that was funny. And I'm like, you British people probably aren't training for anything either. Let's be honest, okay? So trainers for sneakers. Oh, crisps. I bought a little bag of potato chips and like my brain was literally, like it's weird. My brain was talking to me saying, okay, those aren't potato chips, those are crisps. I was like, okay, brain, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. So. I'm reading your comments and then I'm going to pull for R&B. Oh, thanks, Mel. Mel says, let's all hit the like button so more people can discover this wonderful channel. Stress is a midbrain fight or flight encoded event. Okay, good, calmly replied. It is. I'm not quite vibing with your language, but you know, absolutely. I would use different language. It is absolutely fight or flight. Are you saying you've passed, calmly replied, have you surpassed being stressed at all? Do you remember Pearl Shea from 227? No, no. I didn't watch a lot of TV, but tell me why you say that. Oh, you always wanted to be a singer. Yeah, we all have secret fantasies. I actually think, again, take it to a spiritual level, there's something, often there's some reason a particular type of work appeals to us that might truly have meaning. And like for you being a singer, is it about expression, Mel, or was it about entertainment, right? People seeing you, being on stage, like, well, yeah. You wanted to be a burlesque, you wanted to, yeah. Burlesque seems like fun. I definitely, that was another little like, oh, that could be interesting. Absolutely, I hear you. Merlin, my Maggie Smith accent. Yeah, I literally can do it, but I have to hear, if somebody says something to me with a British accent, I can mimic it very well, but I need that input, right? I can't think of what I would say. Well, darlings, I mean, I'm in London. Well, I was in London. It was true. It was fabulous. It was amazing. Yeah, no, I'm not getting it. I have to hear it and then I can do it. I actually really did like London, guys. This was my first time. I was just there for about 2 days, I think, 2 nights, 3 days. I like London. I did see homelessness. It's a world city. It's a major city in the world. So I saw homelessness and I literally, again, my brain's like, yeah, this seems like there's more homeless here. And I'm like, Viv, you haven't been to London before, at least in this life, right? I'm literally like, what I find interesting is the homes are so tiny compared to America. The homes and the dwellings are tiny. I stayed in like a B&B that was like a townhouse, you guys, where I was literally like in the dormer or like in the attic. And to share with you, because I did want to share with you what I've been going through. It's kind of funny. The fire alarm went off. Luckily, I was awake. It went off early in the morning because if it had woken me up from a sleep, I mean, I was like this because it was a tiny room, you guys. I didn't investigate how big the rooms were. I didn't know. It was a tiny London townhouse, historic, so they don't have elevators. So the woman says to me, well, here's your room. And then it was like a semi-basement. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not staying in basement. I went, she goes, very nice Indian woman. She's like, well, go look at it. I was like, yeah, let me look at it. And it was semi-basement. I could have stepped out, like if there were an emergency. I'm sorry, I am very, been through a lot of trauma, right? That's why I talk about a lot of what the stuff I do, starting even before coming to the US, right? Coming from, a poor island nation, there was trauma, definitely, early childhood trauma. So basement, I'm not feeling the basement. So I come back and she's like, okay, no, I can give you this. But she goes, it's the fourth floor. And I'm like, all right, I grew up on the fourth floor. So I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It wasn't the fourth floor. It was the fifth floor because just like the rest of Europe, ground floor is ground floor, one is two. You see what I'm saying? I was like, even without knowing that though, I think she says to me, I'll have someone bring your bag, which I thought was really nice. And this is where I'm actually happy to have the gray hair. So a young man brought it up for me, up, and they were narrow stairs. Again, this narrow London townhouse, just like New York City, they're not big typically, right? So up the stairs and the stairs twist. But then one morning, like I said, the alarm went off and it was, hey, Levi. It was scary because of course I'm like, okay, wait, my bag, I'd spread my things out. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm gathering my things and then the alarm stopped, you guys. So I'm like, Viv, it's a false alarm. But then I'm like, don't be stupid. You could, you may look stupid if you go down and it's a false alarm, but you would be alive, right? So it takes me about 4 minutes and I do stop because I always think even in a panic situation, and don't take my advice on this, but Spirit always says to me, when there's something that seems emergency, just pause for a moment and just breathe, just even one breath. And so I was like, the alarm went on and off, and then it went on again and off. And I was like, okay, it's probably false. I grabbed my things, but it took me about 4 minutes. And then I stood there and I was like, do I want to go down the stairs? Because it's 5 fucking flights and I'm going to have to come back up. And I did. Turns out, wait for it, somebody burnt the toast. There's breakfast and somebody burnt the toast. And I'm like, really? Don't you guys have an intercom to say false alarm, right? Coming down 5 friggin' flights of stairs, have to go back up 5 flights of stairs. Anyway, when I was checking out that morning, I asked the girl, I said, was I the only one who came down? She goes, no. When it went off, she's like, everybody on the first floor came down. I thought that was funny. So all the people on the upper floors were like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till I see smoke. Has that happened to any of you? Like, how did you react? I'm curious. Because that's never happened to me. And again, it was probably intuitive, but it was something I thought about as I was settling into my room. I did. I mean, they tell you, note where the fire exits are. And I'm the type of person, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? You might think it's over there, but no, it's over there. So I did that. But have any of you had that where you're in a B&B or a hotel and the alarm goes off? How did you react? Oh, I think I do remember that. Mel says, people love telling Ms. Pearl, yes, things when she sat in her first floor window. I thought of that when you said people like telling you things. They do. They will tell me personal things and I'm just like, and then I'm like this. I'm kind of like, uh-huh. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And I'm trying to leave, but I can't leave. So yes, I think I do remember. I do remember that. Let's see. Calmly replied says, yeah, I'm practicing mindful attention as to what I'm really experiencing. Yeah, and don't necessarily conceptualize it. I think that can be a danger. I calmly replied, the mindfulness experiences the bare experience in that moment, which is actually quite hard to do. But I think that's wonderful that you are practicing that. That is a great part of what I teach. Levi says, howdy, hope all is going well with your new adventure. Glad it was a false alarm. But like I said, and I stuck my head out because again, I'm that type and I think that's human nature. I stuck my head out. I'm like, okay, what do other people think? crowdsourcing, right? We do that as humans. That is hardwired into us, which is why I'm asking so many of you, how are you doing with your stress level? And a lot of you I notice are not saying. But I really am curious. How are you? Are you keeping up your practices? If so, what are you doing? So, as you guys know, I went for a couple of weeks just 2 months ago to Italy. I got partial funding because of my talent as an artist. It was a little bit of funding, but it paid the airfare. I paid everything else myself. Much more, the majority I paid myself. I would say maybe it was 1/5 that was, maybe less, that was provided for as an artist to go and do the research. And this, I don't want to talk a lot about my personal business on the internet. Like, I love you guys and I can feel your real people, your vibration and all that. But again, this goes out to the whole world. So it's more, I want to encourage us, divine masculine, divine feminine, to not feel that we can't do things. I am not doing this because I have a lot of money at all. Believe me. Again, I don't want to say too much about how I'm managing it because a lot of stuff is personal and we put out so much on the internet. But look at ways to travel. Look at ways, you may have friends, you may have family in a place. If you are wanting to leave the States, even temporarily, maybe there's family where you can, or friends of family. Sometimes it's not family directly, I'm getting for some of you. It may be an acquaintance who has a room. It may be an older woman who has a room in her house in, in Ghana or in Panama, or Canada. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Canada. Canada is quite expensive. That's the problem. Okay, so I want to pull this card for R&B, but I need to be able to set the, hold on. And I don't have a stand. You guys, I was being cheap, and then I bought, on impulse, I bought a iPhone case, and I didn't buy one with the little stand, which I see now is really a poor, like a poor choice to do that. Let me see what I can do, because I want to pull some cards and see how this is going to work. Okay, you guys are kind of propped up. I'm going to pull a card for R&B. So, and the phone distorts my body. I hate that. Like, wherever you place it, it makes you look like bigger or smaller. So it's distorting my frame, actually. I just woke the dog up. Oops, there we go. Darn it. Damn it. Okay, the phone is falling. Hold on, guys. Here, let me do it like this. And it looks like, yeah, you guys don't see. That's great. Okay, what I'm using to hold it up, I'm using my makeup case. So this is for R&B. If any of you, in terms of, what can you do to improve your stress? And if you really believe you're not under stress right now, then I want to say to you that you are deluding yourselves, all right? And I love you guys, right? Especially the regulars. I feel like I know you a little bit. Hey, Jules. Mel says, oh, B's responding. I just looked it up. Cher was in the movie. That's you being a singer. What? Wait, what? I got cut off. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Right? The phone plug is at the bottom. So how do you stand up your phone vertically is what I don't get. I really don't get that. How are you supposed to stand up your phone vertically? You see, I'm challenged. Hold on, let me try to do this. I'm putting the makeup case on it, and it's gonna rest on the base, but it can easily tilt. R&B. I do remember the woman sitting on the porch. Yeah, Miss Pearl. What is that, the 80s? When was that, the 80s or 90s? That sitcom? So England, so I'm seeing the smaller towns in England, as well as, as I mentioned, London. So this is for R&B. What does R&B need to know? And one card really wants to come out. Wow. Okay, R&B. So there's some battle or conflict you're recently engaged in. Not battle. I'm sorry. I'm being literal. There was some sort of conflict, argument, disagreement, right, to use modern terminology, that you were engaged in, and you probably feel like you won. You might have come out appearing to be the winner, but this card, and I really dislike this card in the tarot deck, it means that often, though, there's lingering resentment. You can see the folks walking away, and they're dejected, and the winner is almost a little bit too proud, too haughty, too, overconfident. So it could even be a legal thing, though usually that would be the justice card. But there's something where you clashed with someone. And again, it may not be you. Maybe you're the one who was defeated, but it's not settled yet. There's still lingering animosity is what I'm going to say. And yeah, there's still lingering animosity. Let me know how that hits you. Oh, okay, Mel says it was the 80s. Yeah, it was a while back. Levi says, Levi, please, I had emailed you a follow-up and I never got a reply back. So it was great connecting with you. If you could check your email, there was an email from me just a couple days after your session. But Levi says, I'm feeling pretty relaxed, but there's a lot of residual tension. There is residual tension, and the more sensitive you are, it's very hard not to have it touch you. Mel says there are wonderful, fabulous programs online in the USA and international where you can learn farming while staying. Yes, Mel, thank you. In fact, guys, share your ways. Many people house sitting is one way. Watch Stephanie Perry if you're interested. You do not need a lot of money to do house sitting. Another thing is the farming. And a lot of us might be like, oh, I don't want to farm, but I think it's called woofing. There are things, you guys, where if you speak English, you could work at somebody's Airbnb in Spain because you're a native English speaker, and a lot of the people coming speak English, right? They're Canadian or American, and you can stay there for like 3 months in the summer, working the front desk. You clean a couple rooms. It's not that hard, okay? You're getting exercise, and you get to be in Spain or wherever. So thank you, Mel, for pointing that out. I didn't even think about the farming aspect so much. I'm not so physically, I thought about that, but many of us could definitely do that. So there are absolutely ways to get out of the country. Again, as many of the channels that talk about that, it doesn't have to be permanent. You're not saying you're never going to talk to your family, you're never going to see your family. But if you're feeling stressed in the US, take a sabbatical. Take a week if you can get a week. If you get a week from your job and you have some savings, like I said, there are different ways you can do it. So Mel, thank you for that, because that's one of the major ways. House sitting is, oh, Levi, thank you, sweetie. You probably just didn't see it, because I feel like that's not like you not to respond at all. So thank you very much for that. And it really was a pleasure meeting you. Yes, Divine Masculine Embodiment. Hold on, guys, my calendar popped down. So B, let me know if that is, yep. So R&B is responding. So this is the card I got for them, and now I'm going to read what they say, okay? They say, it's a situation I've walked away from, and I've determined it's not worth my peace or reviving up my stress. Yes. Guys, see, I'm good. What did I say? There's a conflict, and you see the people walking away, right? They're walking away. The problem, like I said, R&B, is there is some lingering tension there that you have to deal with. Whether as the winner or loser in this issue, in this conflict, this disagreement, This card is saying that there's still, the air needs to be cleared. And the clearing the air may be you just staying quiet, meaning give it time. It could be give it time, however you want to respond. But Spirit is just letting you know that yes, everything is still not totally well. And you're probably aware of that, and you're feeling that. Let me pull one more card for you, R&B, to see if there's more advice on what you could do. Guys, you can come. I've toned down the readings, but I'm doing, I hope Levi doesn't mind what they came for, is just to keep it more neutral, is the energy alchemy session where I tune into your energy. It's basically like a distance Reiki. I don't like using the word Reiki because it's not Reiki, but it's a distance energy clearing. I became aware that I could affect people's energy by touch about 20 something years ago when I was teaching yoga. It first happened when I was teaching a private student yoga in her townhouse. Beautiful. Actually, it wasn't a town, it was a really large apartment building, penthouse, is what I meant to say. Gorgeous penthouse. And I touched her back, and she says to me, and again, you know how, as Americans, and we're trained into very rational, this was not a woo-woo person at all, not even a typical yoga person in any way. And she says to me, wow, I just felt energy rush up my spine as you did that. And I was like, whoa, because it wasn't my conscious intention, honestly. Like, I wasn't trying to give her, I was trying to, yeah, but I think of it as like a loving energy, but she felt it like sort of activated her Shakti or Kundalini energy. And I was surprised because I hadn't really realized I had that ability. So that was decades ago. And now, and I've been on and off kind of told, you can do distance energy work. As you know, I did energy work in person through massage, working with energy. But if you are interested, I mix in a reading with the energy shifting, the energy clearing. So all that to say, for R&B, I'm going to pull to see if there's, what can you do to help heal the situation for yourself so you can move on. Wow. This is the card that I pulled. So many of you know this card. It's pretty straightforward. The Hermit card. Look within. Take some, actually exactly what you said. Wow, I just got that. So, you see the man, he's up at the top of a mountain, kind of a cold mountain, a sense of isolation, and yet with the light, illumination, and he's looking very closely. He's not looking so much off in the distance. The senses of a going within and going, inside, right? For the truths you have as the Hermit. I take the Hermit very much as closing yourself off a little so that you can get your own wisdom, your own illumination. So that is Spirit's advice. Yeah, so this conflict. Wow. Which just literally, you guys saw me shuffle. It confirmed what they were saying. And this is a major time for you. This is a major arcana card. So it means it's not just a trifling issue. It's not just like a petty issue. There's some big learning for you in taking this time, maybe pulling back from friends or family or the situation, and just really looking within and processing it. Especially, I get a sense of really processing, right? He's got the cloak on, like the hoodie. It's kind of closing the world off. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. R&B, that was for you. And R&B had said, it's a situation I've walked away from and I've determined it's not worth my peace or reviving up my stress. Amazing. Okay. So I'm returning that card and I'm going to kind of clear the deck. So again, I'm not just doing single readings. I'm doing them with an energy healing. I actually don't want to use the word healing. It's not for physical healing of any illness or disease. I'm not claiming that at all. What it is more, what I'm seeing is people are stuck in a particular area in their life, like maybe with work. There's just situations where they feel really kind of blocked up, and kind of shift their energy and shift their, one young woman said to me, she felt, literally, she saw possible solutions flash in front of her. while she was laying down receiving. She saw like different ways she could handle a situation. Many people feel their chakras. They'll feel, a throat chakra. Oh my gosh, or I felt energy here, and they'll tell me afterwards at the end of the session. So if you're interested in that, do go to my website, intheflowofmagic.com. Anybody else would like a card? R&B says, I felt the hermit heavily, really? Okay, that is funny. Sorry, my makeup case is blocking. I love that R&B. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah. Okay, cool. Jules, hey Jules. Okay, I'll pull for you. All right, don't tell me anything yet if you don't want to. I think it does help. I don't like the word psychic. I am intuitive, so it's nice if I kind of know what the area is it's pertaining to. And B, yes. Okay, so hold on, guys. And just be patient. If my phone falls over, I'll get it. Okay. The one thing I'm not loving about England, as I'm visiting, is the homes. They do not heat their homes like we heat our homes, okay? Now, I have lived in New England. My friend was making fun of me because she's like, yeah, you like that New England. I'm like, yeah. It's a particular, people can be a little cool there. So I don't know if it's that I love New England so much as I literally love, this is going to sound weird, I love the landscape and the land because I really am connected. Like I love the trees, I love pine trees. So I like this region's landscape. It's almost more important to me than the people, to be really honest with you. So yeah, why did I mention that? Where was I going with that? Okay, so I'm doing Jules. Okay, Jules, because your name is hidden sort of down at the bottom of my screen. I'm gonna, as I said, I like to keep a theme. So the theme is just for your stress, your mental clarity, your mental well-being. What does Jewel need? So yeah, I realized what I was talking about. You can work with me, you can hire me. I'm not just here floating on the yacht. I have my little Etsy shop, which is passive income. Let's see. Ooh, okay, this card, my hand stopped on this. This is for Jewel. Let's see what this is. Oh, wow. And did I said, right? This is about stress and your well-being. Anybody, you can look this up. I'm not making this up. This is you saw me pull the card up like that. I didn't look at it first. Jewel, you need some rest. You need some rest, girl. Look at this. So the Four of Swords is the guy. He's got the sword. The one sword, the idea is the one sword is at the ready. The three swords are up there. Again, the church, the idea of solace. It does not mean death. I find it looks gloomy, but it's this card meaning, the Four of Swords, is that you need to stop, Jewel. You need more rest. So this could be someone nearing burnout, really, really tired, fatigued, depending on the other cards. It could be someone who's maybe given birth. So like a new mom, she's really wiped out. Someone who's maybe dealing with the grief or loss or illness, but it's definitely rest. You need to take time out. It's similar to the Hermit, but the implication is that with this card, okay? With this card, it's more physical healing and rest and recuperation is needed. Jewel, let me know if that's true. Okay? Or how that resonates for you. I firmly believe in this. It's not me. I feel like, we connect to spirit and spirit does have a message for us. So yeah, Jewel, look at how busy you're keeping yourself. Look at how much you're working. Look at how much you're doing. Because this card could come up in someone, you could maybe not be working, but maybe you're a grandmother taking care of grandkids that were taken, from your daughter, and you're the responsible party now. And so you are exhausted, right? So you're not working, but you're working. So Jewel, let me know. Let me get my phone back. I don't like my phone so low because I don't think that's a flattering angle. So let's see what Jewel says. Okay, Jewel says yes, because I'm near burnout and I have not been sleeping well at all. Like I said, I stand by. I've been doing spiritual practices for like 20 odd years now. And that is one of the things that comes to anyone if you consistently meditate, do yoga, you consistently have a spiritual and quieting practice, your intuition will improve. So Jewel has confirmed, yeah. It's important that you do it. So I'm going to pull another card for you, Jules, and I just want to see, this is very definite, all right? Let me see if I can get any more information of how, I'm going to ask how could you get this rest that you need, okay? So let me set the phone down again, people. Okay, somebody send me an iPhone holder, please. Could you? Okay, hold on. Okay. This is for Jules. How can she get the rest she needs? She says she's nearing burnout. They say that. Oh my God. How am I gonna do this? How do you shuffle cards? Here. I am literally gonna put my phone between my knees. Let's see if that works. Hold on. I am resourceful. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna put my phone between my calves. This is really silly. I'm holding the phone at just above my ankles. It's hilarious. All right, let's see. Jules, I'm sorry if my intuition is off because takes a lot of focus for me to hold the phone like this. All right, what, if anything, can Jules do to get more rest? Huh. Okay, that's a weird card to get for that question. Okay, okay, well, so this card is, hold on. This card is someone who has been working to build their career. See how the guy is out of the town? So it's like a hyper focus on work. But it's funny, you didn't get the card reversed, which I'd be like, okay, yes, stop. But I think Spirit is just pointing out to you, my sense is you probably already know this then, you've been hyper focused on your work. Like, this is literally what this card means, guys, right? Look at this, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and they're carving them out diligently. They're focused. And Pentacles is always either about money or physical things. It can be the body, health, home. All right. It very much reflects on what the other cards are. But so, Jules, I mean, you've hyper focused on your work or some sort of productivity or a project. It could be a specific project, like it could be that you're trying to start a business or something, right? It doesn't have to be an employment, but you're hyper focused on that. And so, I mean, that's what Spirit is like. You need rest, but yet you're hyper focused on work. So what can you do to balance that out? What can you do? All right, Jules, let that sink in. And then there was one other person, B wanted, and B, you were like first in here, right? Hey, if you're just joining, guys, okay, B, and you are dealing with a situation where you told me you're currently in a shelter, okay? So all right, I hope this, okay, guys. The phone is charged. There's 12 folks here. Guys, I'm so sorry. I should have really bought an iPhone holder that had the stand on it. I looked at it and I don't know, I thought I ordered it from Amazon because I feel like I had one. Like I feel like I had one, and you open the circle. It's like a circle, right? And the phone leans. So I don't know what happened. I guess I just lost it. So I'm putting those cards back, and I'm just going to pull for B now. Okay? And let me go up to all my comments. So you guys are now right at my knee level. I'm literally holding you with my knees. It's just pretty funny. So, yes, you're in a shelter with your 2 girls. Okay. Jules, yeah, thank you. Jules, listen, what I teach is that you do not want to burn out, because once you burn out, you will not be able to work productively. Okay? Hear me what I'm telling you. There's a reason you tuned in today. If you push yourself into full-blown burnout, you could end up, with what is it, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. You end up so fatigued that you cannot easily achieve your dreams. So you need to moderate, okay? You need to moderate it, all right, Jules? All right, I'm pulling for B now. B, I'm going to directly ask you, because you mean your situation is clear and it's troubling, it's not good. So let's ask, the first card that wants to come out is this card. Huh, okay, that is interesting. So reversed right away, I get there's something you're not doing. All right, so she got the Page of Wands. My sense is the page is always new beginnings, especially here, potentially new ideas, new starts. B, is there something you could be doing that you're not? Meaning, maybe in your case, what we know, is there something you could be applying for? Because, okay, so it's a young man. It's fiery sweet. It's sweet of starting something, but you got it reversed. That's why I'm saying I feel like this is you. It could also be the situation that things are not starting. But I don't know, my intuition, separate from the card, is saying maybe there's something that you can do that you're not doing, B. Maybe it's applying for something, putting some sort of connection or root somewhere for you and your girls. I feel like it's a form you're supposed to fill out. I feel it's something that you, in that situation, are supposed to do that maybe you're putting off. Maybe it's filing for something. Maybe it's going to see someone who's an advisor. But my sense when I first saw this card, this is for B, is that there's something that that you could do to help yourself to start helping yourself that you may have put off, maybe just because it's difficult for you. Let me let me pull another card. Okay? Let me know, B, if that resonates for you. Okay? Like, what is it? Is there a form? Is there a process you're supposed to go through that maybe also maybe just isn't happening? Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a court thing or something, but it could, that you're waiting for something, but I don't so much get waiting as the outside. It just feels like it's something that you can do yourself as the page to start to get more rooted again. Let's see what she says. B says, maybe it's putting my girls in public school because I homeschool. Shelter rules don't allow homeschooling. So how are you homeschooling them then? Don't let your girls get dropped behind, okay? Because that can be, again, it's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm going to read her comments as, maybe it's putting my girls in public school because I homeschool. But if you're in a shelter, I just assumed you couldn't homeschool in a shelter. And you're saying shelter doesn't allow homeschooling. So are you saying that the girls are basically they're not getting that, right? They're not being around other kids. They're not getting some of that structure. B says at the library with the resources they have to offer. Okay, I got you. So you're doing that. Okay, maybe. Let me pull one more card. What is the Page of Wands? What is the Page of Wands? I love it. Clearly you're resourceful, but yeah. Okay, what is this? Okay, okay. So this, she got the Moon card reversed. So that's actually good. This is one of those cards that I think is better reversed. So let me get my phone from between my knees. All right. You got it reversed, so I'm going to say you're starting to let go of some of your fears. Is this a process, or are you stuck in your fears? Okay, because tarot, it's hard to read it from just a few cards. Are you stuck in your fears? This is very much a card about almost like our nightmares, our things that kind of haunt us, maybe in our subconscious, we may not be fully aware. So because it's reversed, it could be that you're beginning to be aware of these fears, these sort of lurking thoughts, patterns, or it can also indicate that you're stuck in the thing, right? So when a card is reversed, it can often mean the thing is entrenched. So B says, okay, with it reversed, it means it's not hidden anymore. Yeah, again, they're not fixed because, for instance, I know what you're saying. There are general meanings to tarot cards, but then, and this is absolutely true, for individual readers, a card may provoke certain imagery that tells them it means something slightly different. So yeah, it's not, that's how I tend to read it more than that it's stuck. Like my first feeling was, yeah, you're aware of them, right? Because this is when it's a little bit, yeah, like murky. So does that resonate for you? Are you feeling more aware of what your fears are? Because I have to tell you, Goddess, I don't know. I nearly went homeless one time, even as after I left teaching, diagnosed with PTSD. But I did not go homeless because I was able to stay with a dear friend. Okay. This is why I also was warning Jules about burnout. You do not want to burn out. You need to pull back. Lower whatever the expectations are. Maybe there's some asset you can sell. There, find a way where you don't damage your body, Jules. And so, B, yeah, let me know. Yeah, she says, okay, yes, I'm aware, but in the situation I'm in, it's putting me back on the system I'm attempting to break from. Right, right. Yeah. I think, but this is inner. Yeah. Could it be possible that you work with the system while the system still exists, given what's happening in America? Could you work with the system, get yourself on your feet, and then once you're strong again, once you've got some structure, some savings or whatever, you're able to make the move that or live how you want? How does that sound, B? Because yeah, I mean, I definitely hear you on that, right? You're in the system, and I know when we're in a lot of these systems, they really take control. They really control what you can do, what you can't do, where you go, where you can't go. But I'm wondering if you can like follow the rules for like 6 months, get stabilized, 8 months, a year, get your girl stabilized, you know. Again, I don't know your full situation, but it would go back to the fear of not going back to what it once was, which is freedom. Oh, that you wouldn't then have the freedom. Yeah, you're definitely dealing with a lot of fears. So anybody watching me talk to this person, I'm not talking to you directly, just so you know, this card is very much about our fears, very much about our fears, often unconscious, subconscious. Because, as she said, because it's reversed, I do think she's becoming aware of them. That's why I'm questioning you saying about the system, because that fear, maybe you can work with it, get help, and then extricate yourself. I don't know, right? Because it's complicated. I don't know, each each town may be different, what they offer may be different. Maybe you live in an area where there's not many services, or as I said, they do dehumanize you. I totally get that. Totally get that. Anybody else? Because I'm enjoying this. It's been a long live, and I welcome any donations, right? Don't get it twisted that just because I'm traveling that I have a lot of money. I do not. I am, just to give a little background, those of you who may not know, I was a art professor, the first in my family to go to college. I went all on my own. I had absolutely no family support. My parents did not finish high school. Being raised in America, and I just had these ideals, and my parents they did think education was important, unlike some people now, right? And like many Black folks, they knew, especially historically, that if we could get access to education, we could excel. So I became a professor. I was bullied in academia. Honest to God truth, it was 4 white males. Again, these fears that they have are stunning. They first bullied a white female. So it was not just racial, it was gender-based. They chased her out of academia. A white woman chased her out, made fun of her when I got there. I never met her, but I heard the stories. Then they did the same to me. Then we hired someone, also white female. We had a committee. Those of you who know academia, it's a committee, right? It's a hiring committee. And they proceeded to trash talk her within weeks of us hiring her. And again, being like, oh God, she's so stupid, blah, blah, blah. That's not professional language, right? And then in my head, I'm sitting there like, wait, we just hired her. If she's stupid, what does that make us? Like, that's how stupid they are. You get what I'm saying? Like, how dumb do you have to be? You just hired the person and you're saying they're stupid? That means we didn't read her resume right. We did not interview her right. The girl wasn't stupid. They just were some hate-filled people and very insecure. And again, you guys know me. I am not, we're not, you know, I don't know. Would I have joined the Black Panthers? Because there are some intellectuals in there. But yeah, I'm not, I've seen it, I've lived it, and I'm just like, really, people? Some of you may not know I immigrated here, so coming with that immigrant background, work hard, you can make it in America. So get into academia. And again, not everybody was like that. Not all of the people were, but the ones who had power, which were four white males, basically belittled me, talked trash about me. And I could have stayed. I got tenure. I got tenure because there would have been legal action because, again, I was the second woman they had done this to, right? The president, who was a woman, reined them in and is like, everybody that you hire, you treat like shit, right? Again, those of you who don't know academia, okay, this is very common, you guys. I went there, I had worked at the Museum of Modern Art. I had gone to a really good school, and these people, these small town people are like, yeah, you don't know what you're doing. I was like, really? You feel what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah. Or is that just your insecurity? Because I did come in there, you kind of come in and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to work. I know my stuff. I'm not saying I was perfect at all, right? But basically it was an old boys club, and that is the truth. It is not, anti-male. It's like, this is the behavior. They just could not deal. They couldn't deal with this white woman. They couldn't deal with me. And if you know academia, you come in as a subordinate. It's not like I came in as their boss. They literally had power over me. Anyway, so all to say that career ended up getting scrapped. So what I'm doing now, it basically affected my whole life, because I said to my girlfriends who were there, my two best friends, I was like, I never want to go to academia again. And so that really plummeted my income. And also the burnout, which is back to my thing with Jules, like that burnout is real. And so it's very important for you to love yourself enough to even downsize. I mean, I'm riffing like, Jules, I don't know if you own a home, but literally it would be better to downsize your expenses and extract yourself from a toxic situation. This is my opinion and my experience, okay? So let's go on. Let me read some of your comments. Mel, oh sure, Mel. Okay, I will absolutely pull a card for you. Yeah, the moon means hidden, absolutely. And if you look at the card closely, there's like a crab coming out of it and dogs and wolves howling. It's very much of like of being a bit confused, fears, things that are scary, nighttime, right? You can't see what people are doing. So yeah. It would go back to the fear of not going back yet. I hear you, because freedom is literally probably my highest. Yeah, freedom is probably my highest ideal. So I do understand. I would rather, like, if it came to a choice, I'd rather be poor and have freedom, or have less status but have freedom. That's why I was looking at van life. That's why I was looking at like tiny house. That's actually not why I like tiny spaces. I actually like tiny spaces. I like that the freedom, right? So a van, I like that movement. So that's just me. Jyoti says, I will also appreciate a card. Absolutely. In 1 week, I'm heading for a 3-month pilgrimage to India after taking a hard decision to leave my husband. Okay, Jyoti. girl, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Levi, too. Okay, listen. You guys are making me busy now. Hold on. Embracing my divine feminine was not welcome and honored. You would think that as a male, he would love that. Like, I don't. It's interesting, Jyoti. I just got this feeling when I said that. Like, I wonder why he would be threatened by a woman getting more into her divine feminine. That's interesting. That's interesting. Mel, no, I didn't sue. Listen. It still pains me that I did not sue. And now I don't know if the same thing happens to anyone. I don't know how that they will be able to. I am the type of person, back to what I literally just said, it's the truth, freedom. Everybody was telling me you have a lawsuit. Everyone was telling me you have a lawsuit. People are like, document everything he said. I started a lawsuit. I got a lawyer, but I really didn't want to do it. I was so depleted, Mel, and anybody who cares about this, again, we're talking about toxic jobs. I was so depleted. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I was depressed and I had anxiety. I was just like, I just want to get as far away from these people, these poisonous people, as I can. And that's when I went to like live in the woods. And that was the first time I did house sitting on my own. I just was like, how? Like, I don't know if I read it somewhere. This was way before Stephanie Perry. I don't think this was early internet. It was very, very early. So I didn't sue. I got an incompetent lawyer. I won't say more about that. And for instance, the first step of the case, he filed in the wrong district in New York State. I was in New York State. He filed, I'm like, and I was in Syracuse. Guys, it's not that hard. I want to say that's Capital Region off the top of my head, right? Albany and Syracuse. I don't know. It's not hard to look up. He filed the case in the wrong district. And with that first mistake, I was like, you know what? You are horrible at what you do, and I am so exhausted. I just didn't have the fight in me, as people say. Okay, so Mel, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to do something really weird. I'll put this phone there. Mel, I'll pull a card for you. The only reason I'm going to probably go is because this whole thing of how to keep the phone. You guys know I'm usually on my laptop. Hey, sweetie. Hey, honey bunny. Hey, did you just burp at me? Did you just burp at me? Okay, and you just licked your nose? Okay. Oh, did I scare you with the cards? Oh, whoops. Okay, wait, I kind of bent one. So this is for Mel. Mel, I like not a question, but I had said I'm keeping it all about your stress and your well-being. What can you do? Just because that is the theme of my channel. I'm always trying to keep it to the theme because I do like to talk about different things, but how can Mel, New York City reviews? Okay, what card is this? Oh my, okay, it's a different card. It's not, I thought it was the Hermit again. Mel, all right. You are crying over spilt milk. Something has happened. Something has happened to you that you, wait a minute. Okay. This is upright. You got it reversed. Okay, you're starting to see the bright side of something now. So this can come up in a reading. I'll just give examples where somebody is getting divorced or had a breakup. And this is where they were still, they were sad. They were grieving. They weren't seeing the cups that are still upright, the positives in their life, the benefit of the situation. So when this card is reversed, I read it as I said, it can, again, depending on other cards, it could mean the person is stuck in it, but reversed this way, and by itself, I'm going to say that you're getting over this ending. It could be the loss of a pet. It could be the loss of a friendship. But now you're starting to come out the other end, maybe see some positives. If this came up in a reading where it was a relationship, maybe you're starting to see that your freedom is more important, that the person was controlling or judging. So Mel, let me know. So yeah, what does Mel say? Oh, wow. You guys, like I said, come to me. I'm good. I'm good. Maybe I should just also put the readings back. Let me know if you guys are more interested in just readings as a client, or do you want the combination the Spirit has said to me is to really do the energy healing. And then within that topic, I pull typically about 6 cards. So Mel confirms that, says 2024 was the ending of many friendships, right? Look at this card, right? The sadness, the grief. Look at it. But they're two behind, okay? And the implication is the person is not paying attention to those 2 cups that are filled with joys. But again, I pulled it reversed for Mel. And so I took it as, yes, they're starting to come out the other side. They're starting to come out the other side and realize, you know, what is good about the situation? What could I learn? It might be a learning situation. You learned maybe in the future, not that type of person, or these are the red flags, right? Yeah. Were there hints that you missed about whatever, or don't loan money to a friend again, or what, whatever it is, right? Okay, good. There was one other person, Jyoti. Yes, Jyoti also needs a reading. Yes, he's intimidated. Yeah. Oh, B says he's intimidated. Okay, great. Yeah, crosstalk to each other. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hold on, hold on. Something popped up. Okay, so let me go back up. Wow, R&B says my card pull was related to academia. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It definitely shows you working hard, right? You got, what was it, the Eight of Pentacles, the man sitting and just hammering, literally hammering away, hammering away. Yep. Oh, thank you. Who's that? Is that B&B? Oh, no, that's Mel. Thank you, Mel. Here, can I? All right. So now Jyoti, who is going to India. Okay, wait, now it's blocking. There we go. Jyoti is going to India. Yeah, that's kind of what I got too, ladies, honestly. When you first said that, I'm like, why would that be threatening? I got this beautiful movement of energy for you, Jyoti. Like, was he afraid that somehow he couldn't meet your needs or something? Jyoti? Oh, and Levi. Okay, so I have 2 more, and then I'm probably going to go, because I have been live for 97 minutes. I don't even know what that really means. Is that an hour and a half? Okay, so let me do Jyoti first, and then I'm going to go to Levi. Levi, did you see the letter? Oh, guys, I just figured out a way to make it easy. All right. Let me kind of clear this deck. I usually like to clear it with a crystal, but I don't. Obviously, I didn't fly from the US with crystals, because crystals are heavy. Yes, I could have put a small crystal. I kind of wish I did. I do. I kind of wish I had. So being on the road, like I said, is not a sign of having wealth. I am choosing to take this time out just to see and move forward. Way before our current president, I have wanted to, specifically, as you guys know, live in Italy. From 20 years ago, it resonated with me so strongly. And then more recently, I had some shamanic, I want to say maybe 10 years ago. And so, we'll see. England is lovely. I'm seeing the countryside of England. Beautiful, like classic, Oh, guys, I was in a pub last night. I was in a pub for the first time, a pub from the 1500s. I like making people laugh. So I said to the people I was with, I said, the ceiling is crooked, because it went like that. It was slanted. And they're like, yup. So then I look at the window and I'm like thinking, okay. And then, I knew. So, but I said to them, I don't know, it makes me a little uneasy. Like, I think I was like, what if it falls down? And I knew that would give them a laugh. And they laughed and they're like, well, it's been standing for an awfully long time. And I was like, yeah, but, right? The 1500s. So my first British pub, and I did have fish and chips. I guess they call it, right? Fish and chips. I have to say, I didn't think the chips were that good. They were like, what do we call that? Not our French fries, but they were like wedges. They were okay, but they were kind of hard inside. I don't know, the potatoes, I don't know. I think it was the type of potato. The fish was good. Now, yes, I'm supposed to be being more vegetarian, but literally I would have had soup. I would have had a soup with dairy in it. That was like the option. It's a pub, people, okay? I swear to God, they had something like wild boar or something really, it wasn't boar. It was something that was, and it wasn't goat or sheep. It was something that was very, sort of something that was odd that you wouldn't usually, typically see. You wouldn't typically see. Okay, so Mel, I read for you. Jyoti, let's just pull a card for Jyoti, then we're going to go to Levi. Oh, Jyoti said exactly. So yeah, he might have felt threatened that as you stepped more into your feminine, he couldn't meet your needs somehow. This is the, ooh, this is the card she got. She's going to India. This is this is a card, the Triumph card. This is what this card is called. So she got the Six of Wands. So somehow this trip is going to bring you accolades. It's going to put you in the public eye or get you, not necessarily like, oh, you're going to be on YouTube or the media, though it could mean that. You're going to get positive reinforcement from people, Jyoti. You're going to get positive reinforcement from people. About your being, about something you do and be and how you are. This is a great card. This is a very positive card. It basically means external validation. She's going to get some external validation related to, possibly the going to India. It might happen before even. But you're going to feel very celebrated. You're going to feel very good about yourself, I would say, right? You see the guy, he's proudly on the horse, and there's crowds congratulating him. They have their wands up. He's done something worthy of mention, worthy of accolades. So Jyoti, yeah, how does that ring for you? It may not have happened yet, but it looks like a very positive. Wow, Jyoti says, thank you for this confirmation, dear. Yeah, and lots of emojis. Yeah, I think it's going to be very positive for you. That is one of the most positive cards in the deck, especially with that, I get a sense of getting affirmed, especially relative to what you said about your husband or partner not being affirming, right? So, yeah, nice. India is going to somehow, India, the people, the trip, maybe what you learn, what you experience is going to be very nurturing to your self-esteem. Okay, now Levi. Okay, last one, because yeah, I'm getting tired. 102 minutes. Jyoti says, make my heart sing. Yes, it's triumph. You're kind of riding in on the horse. It's very positive. Okay, I didn't even really tune into Levi, but this card wanted to come out. Ooh, this is a nice card, Levi. This, again, just by itself, hold on. It's like pen marks on there. By itself, it can go in several directions, but the first and most sort of blunt meaning of this is you're about to start something that's going to be profitable, that will bring you stability and groundedness. So again, let me give you examples of the meaning of this card relative to different types of people. This could be someone who's maybe just bought a house, right? Their first house. And so you see the pentacles, the land, the page. It's a new thing. It's the start of the thing. It's early stage. But it's something that makes you more grounded, more stable, more rooted in a good way. So this could be a business, a project, again, but yeah, something like buying a house, could even be buying a car, or just starting to build a nest egg, Levi. Let me pull one more for you because you are a client. Yes, that's right. Didn't this something like that came up? Yeah, Jyoti, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, wow, I'm seeing it in British pounds. Girl, I have to tell you, it's like 8 pounds. That's probably $10. That's $10 in American. Wait, did I do that right? Yes, the British pound. Listen, I barely want to talk about it. The prices look lower in Britain, and I think they are. but the American dollar, I have to add a percentage to it. So it shows, yeah, it's showing in British pounds as $8. Thank you very much. And that is probably a $10 contribution in if you're in America. Canada, I couldn't do. Okay, so this is for Levi. We're going to find out more about what this Page of Pentacles. It can also literally mean, and that's what I mean, they don't just have one fixed meaning, right? Otherwise, it'd be really easy to read tarot cards and there'd be limited meanings if you think about it. What, oh, Levi, thank you. Oh, this could even be a person that comes into your life that sort of brings you abundance in some way. So there are many ways, but it's a positive card, absolutely. It's a positive card for more stability, rootedness in positive ways. Okay, let me do a good shuffle though. Let me split the deck. Hold on. And do the like that. Hold on. Okay. For Levi. Okay. Okay. Tell me more about this page. What's the page mean? Ooh. Okay, Levi, so you're about to start something. This is literally means like the divine is with you. This is an ace. An ace is, again, very powerful beginning. There are 4 aces. Ace of Wands means some sort of creative project, some sort of self-expression. But literally, it's like, I would say plural, the gods are with you. There is spiritual support for you to go forward in something. I'd love to know what it is. Is it a project at work? Or is it some sort of side thing? You may not be able to share that. You may not want to share that on the internet, actually, which I understand. This is a very positive card, especially coupled with this. I would say it's definitely beginning because, again, the page refers often to, again, to young people, beginnings of life, right? Youngish person, or the beginning of something. And the ace also, right? So there's tremendous upsurge of energy for you in terms of manifesting something that will bring you abundance, that will strengthen your money. It could even be your physical, though. I'm putting them both back. I put them both back in. But it could even be something that strengthens your physical health. Again, depending on other cards that might be with it and depending on your situation. It could come up in somebody who's deciding maybe that they're going to lose a lot of weight, for example, right? Because they got the ace, that's tremendous energy, they're focused, they're motivated, the body. But I tend to read the pentacles as money more so or then home. And so I'm reading that as related to your creative expression, to your work, to your contribution in the world, Levi. Does that, let me see your comment. It's a creative endeavor, Levi says. It's a creative endeavor. I know what I need to do. Yep. The energy is with you. So it's not just you. Sometimes we're fighting the energy. So this is almost the equivalent, Levi, of you getting the Wheel of Fortune card. But this is telling me it's the beginning. Yeah, it's the start. And it's like you have a wave behind you that's positive, that's going to move you. Go with it. Don't hesitate. It doesn't mean that there may not be, trials and difficulties, but you're definitely on the path that you are to be on. You're on, you're not off track. You're not like kind of ego, just saying, oh yeah, oh, I want to be a billionaire. I'm going to go work on that. Or, oh, I'm going to study computer science because they make money. It feels more, it's spiritually supported. What you're wanting to do is spiritually supported. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Guys, it was so nice having all of you here. The replay folks, sometimes they get bored when I'm pulling cards. But it's just an easy thing actually for me to do on a live. So I hope you enjoyed it. I won't always do it because, like I said, replay people, they're like, well, who are these people? They're like, Okay, Viv's talking. Okay, Jyoti says, thank you so much, Viv, for your time, energy, and all the affirmations, which are so uplifting for the spirit. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to meet you in this way. Absolutely. Thank you. And really enjoy India. That is someplace I feel I have lived in India many lives. I feel there's a reason I reincarnated in the West. I have, I don't feel that necessarily I'm supposed to go to India. Part of me wants to. I don't know if in this life, right, that I am supposed to be there. I really believe there's a reason that, we reincarnate where we reincarnate, or we land where we land. Yeah, yeah. I think you're going to have a wonderful, to be safe. And also, yeah, don't overly focus on that. Stay focused, stay grounded on the spiritual, tune into the guardians of, I believe each country, to close, as I cleared my throat, the dog looked at he just opened his eyes and looked at me like, you okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay. Really sweet doggy. Um, I believe each country has guardians or devas, basically like angels. A town may have an angel or a being, an energy that watches over it. So my sense for you, Jyoti, is yes, stay in that energy of grace, of being protected, of moving with ease throughout the nation is the sense I get. B, yeah, B says, thank you for your time today. Continue to spread your light to others. Thank you. Mwah. Just wishing you well getting out of that system and in getting your girls onto some firm footing. This may come up, the card I pulled for you, B, where I said there's something you can do. Just keep an eye out for what that could be. Maybe it hasn't shown itself yet. Okay. You know, this comes to me. This might be far-fetched, but maybe there's a way where you can do some sort of live-in work. When my mother first came to America, she was a live-in housekeeper. This was more common back in the day. I guess it still happens, of course. You know, came freely, lived with a family, lived in their home, and that is how she brought me to America. So I'm wondering, B, just thinking out of the box, is there a way where maybe an older woman or man cannot, oh, this is it, cannot, this is what I'm getting for you, and maybe somebody else watching, they cannot fully take care of themselves. They have a home, right? Look at how many old people in America they have a home, but their family is elsewhere. Maybe they would be open to you and your children moving in, being their caretaker, and they have rooms. They raised 3 children. They raised 4 children. I see this room with like wallpaper and, it's an old-fashioned room, but your 2 girls, they have a place to stay, you have a place, and you work for that person. You make meals for them, you keep the house clean. I don't know if the orange one is going to gut this, but there is a program, I think it was for relatives. You can be their live-in whatever and get paid, whether through Medicaid, Medicare. It's certainly cheaper than the person going to a nursing home. Okay, so somebody out there, this is meant to help. It is a great idea. Think out of the box, right? You say you want the freedom. Think out of the box. I would tell everyone, everyone I know, I would mention this to them and let them mention it to people they know. Because again, all of you watching this, you know how many Americans own their homes. I'm not seeing a fancy home. I'm seeing suburban, maybe suburban into city, kind of quasi in that zone, multiple bedrooms. And many old people are lonely. And if you're a good person, right, you're going to support them, and they have children in the home. It can bring them back to life. If they fall down, they may have fears of falling down. Maybe they're not able to, take care of themselves, like I said, as well as they would like. You can help them get into the bathtub, leave them in there, help them, get dressed, all of that, put their socks back on, make them a nice breakfast. It's a brilliant idea. I don't know why our system isn't, in fact, as I'm speaking to you, as I'm channeling this, I'm realizing why isn't our social services set up this way? You could take people who are legitimately, not mentally ill, they could be placed with seniors where the senior is being helped and the person who is formerly homeless or displaced or unhoused has a place to stay. Yes, it requires some management, some training, but again, isn't that cheaper, than the old person going to a nursing home that they hate and this other person being in a shelter where they're not safe? That's it. I just channel that for today. And so love you guys very much. Thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate that. What I may do in the future, guys, is put a PayPal me or something and it's fine. I really appreciate it. YouTube takes like either 40 or 50%. So this is why you'll see some YouTubers just be like, buy me a coffee. It's because YouTube, a multinational, incredibly rich corporation, is gonna dip in. And of course they're providing the service. So that's why I'm not like up in arms about it, but I think they say they take about 40%. So it's not like they take 10%, 15%. I want to say they take 40% of any contribution. So that's capitalism. Love you all. Peace and blessings. And my next video will be, I'm really trying for my channel not to be random, right? So I want to stay around the holistic wellness and the spirituality. I'm going to talk about how I did not get sick traveling this time and what I did. So I'm going to share some tips towards the end of the video that I've done before, but I'm going to share some very specific products so that if you're traveling, whether you're just flying over to the West Coast, because many people have, whether it's COVID, a lot of people are sick. I'm going to share what I did very specifically to not get sick this time with a 7-hour plane flight with recycled air, okay? So that is my next video, so watch out for that. And peace and blessings. Bye for now.